Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman.
And hello, everybody. Here we are again, another amazing episode. How much better can I get than this? I mean, fun is number one, is one of my mantras, right? So fun is number one. We're here with Donna is going to be helping us to open up that fun. You know, that inner child that's within that just wants to play all day. Well, Donna is a leader, a guide to help you with that and so much more. But that is a big part of the topic today. Donna, it's great to have you here.
It's great to be here, Dan. I like the energy, the enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, yes. It's fun. It's fun. I like the fun energy. We got to be having a good time. Well, speaking of having speaking of having a good time, if you know Donna, if you don't know Donna, if you want to get to know Donna better, and you want to know more about this show and keep listening to this show, then the most logical thing to do, the most amazing thing to do is to subscribe and to rate and review. Give it 100 stars. Okay, all right. Yeah, let us know how you like the show. And but yeah, absolutely, we'd love for you to subscribe. I'm going to go ahead and share with you about Donna. Donna Hall is a leader in helping people to connect with their inner child, the place where freedom exists. She is an expert at helping busy people to break free from feeling overwhelmed, angry, and misunderstood, and start understanding what they are here to be, do, and have, and to go for it. She combines she combines her business expertise, divine intuitive ability, coaching, and healing skills to help her clients who are worldwide. Donna provides tools, strategies, guidance, and insights to clients through her release, renew, and rebuild coaching and healing programs, helping her clients to wake up and start creating the life that they deserve. And I just wanted to let you know, I mean, Donna has worked with so many people, including various organizations and corporations, done a lot of consulting work for people. And she does amazing work. I've known her for a number of years, and I know firsthand from working with her, she provides incredible results to her clients. Donna, again, it's great to have you here.
Great to be here, Dan. Good to see you again.
Good to see you. So in seeing you, let's talk about that. All right. So let's talk about it in the context too of the topic, having fun. For a lot of people listening into their own story right now, as you're going to share yours, life maybe was fun when they were a kid. Hopefully, maybe they experienced it there, but fun becomes elusive sometimes as we grow up, become adults. Goal-oriented, you got to survive, you got to make it, you got to make money. There's that one song, I don't know if you've heard of it before, my listeners, they talk about wish you could turn back time to the good old days. Remember that one? Yeah, you're kids, and then we all take the ladder. It talks about we all take the ladder, and then so
true.
Yeah, we watch the rocket ship and watch it fly away and all this stuff. It's like I really love that song because it helps us reconnect to who are we really and all that kind of stuff. So tell us about you in terms of your journey of really getting more and more free to be fun and finding that is where to be, do, and have, and all that good stuff, everything that we could possibly want.
So, I'd have to go back to the beginning. When I was a little girl, I was that person who was having fun. To me, the world was a curious place. I was happy-go-lucky, and I had a lot of clarity. I remember walking around my mom's farm and saying to her, when I grow up, I'm going to be an inspirational speaker, and I'm going to speak in Paris and speak to a room filled with people, and they're sitting on red seats. And I might have been about 6 or 7 at that point. And then life took a shift. And I was really good at daydreaming. That was the other thing. I had this big sort of internal daydream going on about what life would be like. Then life took a shift, like it does for many of us. And, my parents got divorced. We moved away with my mom to live in a completely different country. I got traumatized by a couple of family members. I was abused, and I became a completely different person. So by the age of about 10, that happy-go-lucky girl was completely other focused. I was, completely and sort of got caught up in taking care of other people, denying my needs, and all those things that happen when when you're traumatized, right? You just stop living and life became absolutely serious. So there was no more fun happening. And so that really created a storm in my life, because as you're growing up and you're a teenager, you're around people who want to have fun. And here I was not interested in fun. And if you looked at my marks, I was probably an average student, but I wasn't into books. I wasn't into friends. I was really living in the sort of this insular life. And so that catapulted into my adult years. So, here I am, an adult. And if you looked from the outside, you'd think, she's got it together. She's got a good job. She's getting herself together. And yes, outside that was the truth. Inside was this sort of broken person living from that brokenness. And you know what that's like, Dan. So, low energy, not really happy, angry, again, still misunderstood. And so one of my employers wanted me to become a coach. And the first week of the program, I sat down, and as we were sharing at the end, I thought, I just bumped in. I actually said I just bumped into myself. And what I bumped into was that little girl. I started remember her? She used to have fun. She was curious. She would talk to a lot of people. And it really stunned me that for that 20 odd years, that little person was still there waiting for me to sort of connect back with her. So catapult forward. Finished the coaching program, met you, Dan, did a lot of work with you, great work with you, learned how to do energy scans, which I call freedom scans. When I started doing those scans, I would almost always, whoever I was scanning, I'd recognize, I'd see them as little people, like as kids. And I would always, at first I denied it. I thought, I don't know what that is. And then I started to share it with my clients. I'd say, this is what I'm noticing. As a child, this might have happened to you. Then I'd notice I could also see their potential. And so then the work I do with people today is to help them with the messiness in between. So helping them to release the old wounds, to sort of regain confidence in who they are, regaining their dreams, their passions, helping them to understand who they really are, so then they can start living. So I've continued to do energy work. I'm a Reiki practitioner, and that's sort of what brought me to be where I am today. And so fun for me is accessing that little child that's really who you are from my perspective. That's the truth of who you are, your authentic self. And it's a free energy. It's like when you tap into that, it's unbounded, because there's no experience that you've had probably as a child or as a teenager that's stopping you from thinking with clarity. So when you tap back into the little child, there's freedom there. It's fun. So that's sort of what I'm up to. And that's what brought me to where I am today, to do the work I do.
Yeah. Again, I mean, I'll mention it here too. I remember like this evolution of where I'll never forget when we had that retreat in Sedona, right? We're sitting on one of the vortexes, and all of a sudden you're like, I forget specifics. I just remember you're like, you just feel like a kid wanting to play here, and like the energy grows even stronger for you, and new ideas and new visions were coming to you to go deeper with all this. And it was just so beautiful. And I think that I love that you're talking about from a childhood to now, and then the sense of the trauma, or whatever you want to call it, in between. I'll stay the in between place. But the truth is that that inner child that's never been wounded, never been hurt, never been harmed, it's still there. It's always there. And
Absolutely.
you don't
Waiting for
have
you
to,
to find him or
yeah,
her,
right,
right?
right. Well, but all we have to do is reconnect with it and
Yes.
letting it play, right? I mean, so how do we reclaim that, so to speak, or reconnect with it, engage it, or I mean, what are some things you recommend for people to be able to do that? Because we get so lost, like a lot of us become perfectionists, and we got it because we're still trying to get attention that maybe we didn't get from mom or dad or someone else, and we're trying to prove ourselves. And how do we let that go and just trust the inner child? Let that out.
And it's a process, but here's a quick tip for people who really resonate with this. And you just talked about Sedona. So Sedona, for me, was, I remember sitting on a rock and thinking I could fall off of this at any moment, but not caring and feeling absolute joy. So and how did I start to feel that joy? Sedona somehow reminded me of a childhood place. So if you're listening in, one way to quickly tap into that inner joy, that inner child, and find that joy again is to recall a time when you were happy. Whatever that was, maybe you got your first big lollipop, and it made you happy. Or you saw a parent that you hadn't seen for a while and your heart just filled with joy. Recall that moment, recall every detail of it. So, how did it make you feel? What were you wearing? Who were you with? And just sit and allow that memory to fill into you. And at some point, you'll just start to notice there's a different shift in your energy. There's like this energy where you can do anything, it's unbounded. I find fun energy is like it's hyped up energy, but not hyped like crazy. It's like anything's possible. And so, a quick way that I do with clients is I get them to just recall that moment, because we can get caught up in all the things that didn't work and the sad stories. What about the happy ones? What about those small moments in your history where this particular thing happened that made you happy? It warmed your heart. And when you capture that, when you get that into your system again and you start feeling it, just allow it to sort of resonate through all your chakras. Allow it to come into you. Then and only then, I would, if you're going to make a decision even, or if you're going to do something with your kids, I would sort of do that and then sort of sit back and go, okay, what's my next step? So that's an easy one. It's something that you can quickly do. You can do it anywhere. When you start to get all serious, it's like, wait a minute, here's an exercise. Another is listen to music that brings you joy. For me, if you like music, and I don't know many who don't, music can bring you right back to a specific point in time, either happy or sad, right? It brings the emotions up. And so I always say to people, listen to your favorite song. Listen to a song that reminds you of a time that maybe you were dancing your head off, screaming your head off, having fun. So it's really little tools. And there are a lot of other tools that I share in exercises to help people tap into that inner child, that fun part of your system, because it is always waiting for you, right?
Yeah.
That's the key, is it's there.
Yeah, I mean, and that inner child, I mean, most of us have experienced that feeling at some level, and then whatever, even as kids, even if we had environments where maybe it wasn't well, or considered well to let it out, still people have some sort of connection with that. And maybe some people can even remember at times, being connected with that energy, or being that energy as kids or later in life even. But like just that feeling of like, as kids often don't believe there's any limits. Like,
There
yeah, we
isn't.
can have it all. Why don't we have that mansion? Why, like,
Exactly.
there shouldn't be. They're like,
They're
oh,
not thinking,
little.
oh, I need to get a
Yeah,
career. I got to get money. No, they're thinking I can live there right now if I
right.
wanted.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. Yeah. And then we tell the kid, no, it doesn't work that way. Let me share with you how
Exactly.
this works. You're gonna have to work really hard. You're gonna have to really be accomplished. You probably never make it, but you try really hard. Maybe, I don't know. The kids are like, are magicians. I mean, they're in the magic that we all are.
They are.
Yeah.
They're unbounded. Like it's just energy that it's just, there's nothing that can ever stop them. I love when I see that, or I see kids running around and screaming their lungs out. I think that's it. Like that's the feeling right there.
Right, right,
Right?
right.
That's that feeling that we want to all, that we all have access to, by the way. Even if you had a traumatic childhood, there's a little part of you that has knowing that is not wounded. And that's what we want to be living from.
So,
Mhm.
Donna, how have you been able to bring this inner child, to play in your life? I mean, how have you cultivated more and more fun in your life to experience the life that you get to experience now, and tell us about that life, the
I
joys of it.
love
We
that
all, we all
question.
got our issues, right? But I mean,
We
how it's
do.
changed things for you? It's been a huge game changer. Yeah.
It has been. Dan, if you think about fun, if you even look it up in the dictionary, it's really about enjoying your life. So for me, fun isn't like later on I'm going to have fun. So at the end of today, I'm going to carve out some time for fun. I set fun as an intention every single day. And so, yes, I had issues that I had to work through. I've worked through them and we're constantly evolving. Like you said, every day could present a challenge. But if you set fun as an intention, you start to see fun. You actually start to see, and you can see an abundance of fun. So, fun can be for me is sometimes I look out the window and I see something funny. I might see a dog chasing its owner, for example, it's off the leash. That's fun. That's funny. It's not the expected serious, I'm taking my dog for a walk. Dog, you're going to walk with me. I've trained you. So you have to be able to you have the opportunity to see fun. It's fun in yourself, laughing at yourself, for example. So my pathway has been to do the work to sort of heal, make peace with your wounds. So childhood wounds, we're not meant to be living by them. Make peace with them. Forgive who you need to forgive, and then start to see yourself as that inner child, but an adult. So that inner child is within you, and start to allow that part of you to flourish again. So that you have to set an intention around it. We set intentions all the time about different things. I really would want to know how many people set an intention of fun, and I invite you to do that. So, for example, in a day when I get up and do my morning, whatever I do in the morning to get me going, fun. I write fun, and even in my diary. So today I'm going to have fun. I'm going to have fun at work. I'm going to have fun doing something with my kids. I'm going to have fun making a yummy meal. I'm going to have fun, and you just keep bringing fun in. And it may sound crazy, but after a while, fun just becomes the norm. And fun isn't just I'm laughing and we're going to get together and have a good time. Fun is it's the energy of how you live. It's just that you don't see boundaries. You don't see, I'm my emotions, I can't let them out. You let them out. Kids let their emotions out. They let you know I'm mad at you, I'm sad, I'm happy. So it's really setting it as an intention, and then being mindful about it. So noticing, oh, I'm being really serious about this. What if I were to bring in some fun? How would that change the connection that I have or the communication that I'm having? So it's just setting the intention, being mindful, like being aware of, am I in a fun zone or am I in a more serious, regimented place? And so it's a constant. So it's for me, it's this constant reminder. Like enjoy, if I'm going shopping, I decide how much money am I going to spend, and I make sure I enjoy it. Remember, Louise Hay talks about that, right? In her book, You Can Heal Your Life. She talks about enjoying your money, enjoying what you're doing. It's really important. And when you do that, I notice that good comes to you. So a good could be a positive compliment or someone, holding the door open. So you start to attract goodness in your life because there's no boundary stopping it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean, there's something about, whenever we're in better energy in itself that just brings so many miracles. And I think about like this is a I just watched a Simpsons episode with one of my daughters. She's like, she likes watching the Simpsons. She's like, Dad, I like what you want to watch the Simpsons. I'm like, yeah, I like the Simpsons. They're pretty funny. Let's watch this episode. And in this one, the I think it's what, Lisa Simpson or whatever, the girl. So she would what somebody told her, smile, it'll be better, whatnot for you, and it'll make your life better. And she fought it at first, and then let me just put it this way: she ended up having a smile on her face all the time. I want to give everything away.
Nice.
And like no matter what she was saying, no matter what she was doing, they had everyone reacting as though she was like the best thing ever, no matter what. Like they wanted to do everything they could possibly do for her. Like all she was doing is smiling. She just said, "I hate all of you," and me with a smile. So, but when we're in fun, it's the same principle. It's we're having fun. People are like, I don't know, and I think like a lot of times, like with work that I've done, right? You experienced it, like with the fun I was having, it's contagious. People are just like,
Yeah.
I don't know what this is all about, but it sounds like fun. Let me in. How do I get
I'm going to join in.
I want to be a part of whatever it is when you're having fun. So I know for myself, I've used fun as a principle as well, that not only I want to live, but transmit, and that I know people want to play together with me then, it's like, oh, they want to come and play now. I mean, and we get to be goofs and, and whatnot. And my kids always tell me, you're like a 5-year-old, you're like an 8-year-old or whatever. And it's like, yeah, thank you.
I love that.
Like, totally. But yeah, fun is an intention. I think that's so important. I'm the same way. I have fun, really got it written down on my focus every single day. And you find a way to let everything be funner. And if it's not fun, it reminds you, right, Donna? It's like,
it does.
Wow, I'm not
you start to notice, oh, that wasn't fun. What was that? And you start to notice, it's like, check in, where was I? Am I in that more like regimented place where I got to be perfect? Or am I in, let's just let it flow? Like, I don't get it right now, but let's just see what happens. Instead of sort of stopping, because I notice when you're not in fun, it's like it's like almost like you're controlling everything. Yeah. When you're in fun, life is more of a free flow. You're more open to an invite that you might not have even anticipated. It's like, oh, that's an option for today. So it's like things just start to flow nicely in your life, including money, right? When you're in that fun zone, things come at you in ways that you don't expect, in positive ways.
Yeah, totally. I mean, just being open to it. I know even in recent years, there have been times when a friend might say, "Hey, I got this thing going. Hey, can you go out with me and do something?" And then sometimes, well, first I was like, look at my calendar. Let me see if I can even find time. And
me too.
Right. And then these days, if someone knocks on my door and says, "Do you want to play?" I'm like, absolutely. I will find time, no doubt about it. Because it's so important to me that I just don't care. I'm going to find time to play. I'm going to have fun. And that's a huge value in itself, not to be in like, oh, I got to be productive. This idea of being productive, I got to keep doing this or that, or, like, no, fun, it's its own reward. And I don't know, Donna, and people listening, I'm sure have experienced this too. When you're having fun, it's like all of a sudden, yeah, who knows? You might have new customers knocking down your door in a vacation or something, right? It happens. It's happened to me. Or you get a new insight about something around
you do. It's like you get this download. Oh my gosh, go write it down. Like it's a great experience, I think, for when we can learn, because it's a learning, right? We're learning to be in fun. Because we all somehow, it's like we find our way back to that inner child. Some people, I think, are lucky to never leave the inner child, right? To just sort of live always from that place. I've met people like that, and I marvel at it. And then, many of us are we have to sort of make a decision that I'm going to go back to that place, go back to living with that clarity, that freedom, that inner joy. So. Yeah, I love that when you say, if people knock, yeah, I'm gonna go play. I love that.
Yeah, I mean, just when you know something's true, to just to first just say yes. You can always say no later if for some reason it doesn't all work out. You know what I mean? Like, look at your plans. You're like, well, wait a minute. I guess that doesn't make sense there. But it's like it always. When something actually resonates and it's fun to say yes. First inclination is to say yes, and then
Yes,
you can always work with the details from there. It's just like when they say follow your intuition, right? All the good vibes. It's like go with the good vibes and let the details work themselves out from there. And
exactly.
right. So I mean, and the other thing, here's the question I had, because this is so fascinating what you put in here. You talk about, the actual subject is around, fun is the key to knowing what you are here to be, do, and have. So I'm going to ask you the question about that. How in the world is that the key to knowing what you are here to be, do, and have? How is it? We've been talking about it, but especially when you say who we're here to be, like, wow, how does that show us how we're, like, I'm just,
I know.
yeah, like, I hear it.
Well, remember my story.
I hear it a different way, just real quick. I hear it a different way. I almost hear it like it reveals your true nature and your real purpose. Like that's how I hear it anyway. I know it may not have been written that way, but that's how I hear it.
Well, that's an interesting way to look at it. It is about revealing your true nature because, if someone had met me in my 20s, who I be today is totally not that serious person. That wasn't who I was at 6 or 7. And so who you're here to be is that little inner child who actually had a lot of clarity, who knew. For me, it was like I'd like to inspire people. Now, it may not be as a speaker, it could be as an author, and it could be in another way. But you sort of have an inkling at the very beginning of who, as a child, who were you? What toys interested you? So I think if you can connect back to that inner child, there's a wealth of information waiting for you there. And however you connect in, through coaching, through an energy scan, through different healing modalities, it's going back to sort of the source of what you really what you're about. And so when you figure that out, you're sort of tearing through, it's peeling the onion of all the different stories, all the experiences that left you feeling lesser than who you really are. When you can deal with all of that, right? Do that work, then you're left with, okay, well, I guess this is who I am. If someone had told me after so many years of being so serious, for God's sake, that you were really someone who likes laughing your head off, the little things make you happy, I would never have believed that. Or I would like to write a children's book. I think I told you that in Sedona. I thought, I want to write a children's book. That's not me. I'm a high profile career person, type A personality. So I think it's really when we talk about who you're here to be, it's the insight you get from that inner child.
Yeah.
And parents, it's like looking at your kids now. What do they like to do? What are their favorite toys? What TV shows do they like? That's a part of their inner child just naturally showing up. You haven't told them some of what they're doing. That's the key to who they are.
Yeah, totally.
That's the who am I here to be? We think of it in terms of this large purpose, and I think that has its place. But if you look at it from just more ease and in a simpler way, your inner child, those inner knowings when you were little, the things you like to do, that's who you're here to be, but in a more connected way as an adult. Like you integrate that into something, into a career or as an entrepreneur. So it's like all those little things that you enjoyed as a child are stepping stones to what you're here to be. Yeah. The secret is to get back to that, go back to that place.
Yeah, and the healing.
I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's no wrong answers really, so that's good. So
True.
It's just that doing some healing work, this week even, is connecting with through whatever process I was doing. But what came through was the my 7-year-old at the time was saying, can we play with trucks? Can we play with trucks? It'd be a lot
Mm,
of fun. I really love to play with trucks. I'm
yeah.
thinking in my brain, I'm thinking, oh, I'm not going to be playing with trucks. Come on. I don't play with trucks. That's crazy, but even myself. So, but then I was like, well, if I let it go, I probably would enjoy playing with trucks, if I just let go
Wow.
and but judging it, right? So it's like, I had to make an appointment with my 7-year-old that we're going to play trucks. So it's like,
I
okay, we're
love
going to do
that.
it today, we're going to be playing trucks. And so, and what I know about this is like, I know the power of this work because by doing that, it's going to open up energy pathways in myself that are limiters, right? They're saying, oh, you can't have all that or be all that or whatever, things that are, visible and invisible to me, right? So it opens up like these restrictions that are keeping us from saying, hey, I'll just have the mansion today. It brings us back into that. So I think the minute that sense of that inner child feels like it got crushed, it shrinks down
Yeah.
and it says, oh, I guess it's not possible. Mom says no, dad says no. And that's where it goes. So we have to realize, no, you were right in the first place. You had it, you had it. You had the right direction. You had the connection with the energy of what you wanted. You were trusting it probably when you were a kid at some point, most of us, and to reignite that. So Donna,
Absolutely. And I
yeah,
think to not feel you have to have it all figured out, right? So as adults, at some point we start, I think it starts as a teenager, like I got to figure it all out. But do you really have to is always my question to clients is what's going to happen when it's all figured out? How's life going to change? We're all, and you said it earlier, we're evolving. So what you figure out today could be something different 5 years from now. And that's part of being a kid is a kid doesn't know if, when I sort of go tobogganing down that hill, am I going to go all the way? Am I going to bump into people? Am I going to fall off my toboggan? They're not thinking that. They're thinking I'm going to have fun. As adults, we put all of that in, right? We sort of think through every single thing. And I'm not saying by any means not to think through your decisions. What I'm saying is don't start out like that. Start out with like a clean slate
yeah,
and then allow it to start filling in.
yeah. Yeah, as an adult,
A lot more fun.
what do we think? We're like, I don't know, this seat's a little hard, and I don't know what's it going to be like.
Yeah,
Am I going to maybe fall over? What's how long will this last? When will it be done? How much
exactly.
fun will I have? Could it be bad? Do I need to sign a waiver?
Exactly.
Let's
Whoa.
get on the toboggan. Have
Come on.
fun.
So, if you think about it, who am I here to be? We're here to be people who live with ease. This whole thing of the struggle and all the questions and the overwhelm and the rushing, that's not really what we're meant to be up to. We've all bought into it. Like we bought into that system. But as we start to uncover who we really are, you start to notice, oh, I gotta create more time for fun. I like it when things are easier. I don't need to buy into struggle and everything's hard, because kids don't buy into that. They expect, I'm going to have fun today,
Right.
right? Until things go wonky. And then they start to think, oh, maybe it's not so much fun anymore.
Yeah, it's so interesting with my kids. They're a little bit older now. They're like what 13 and 15. I mean, relatively a little bit older. And I ask them a lot of times, even to this day, hey, how'd it go? Whatever they're doing. And most of the time, they always respond, it was great, it was good, it was wonderful, and
Yeah,
they'll tell me about it. And so it's not just some standard response. It's like yeah, it was good. Like I had a good time. And so it's beautiful to see that, that whatever it is,
it is.
you're just there to embrace it, to have fun. You're right. The intention as kids is it's always fun. It's always fun. And
It is
there's no
fun.
reason why we can't continue to be that way for our whole lives. I think that's what we're, is the higher intention for ourselves. Absolutely. So, so how
That's
about people that
beautiful.
feel a little stuck though? They're like, I keep intending fun, but I keep having the sense of restriction and I can't seem to break through. What can we do to help them to create more fun, or how can we help people that are feeling kind of stuck with where they are and not able to have more fun?
Well, that's real. That's such a good question. And I mean, we've all been there where it's like, there's no way I'm going to do that because I'm not going out to play. I don't have the time for it. So that's where I say to sort of really notice what you're buying into. So, because I do that even today. When I decide, it's like a fast, like you said it earlier, start saying more yeses. So if I decide right away that's a no, like, how do you even know it was a no? You haven't opened the door. So stuck is, from my perspective, stuck is that we're probably saying a lot of no's to ourselves, right? To become unstuck, it's about starting to say yes to the things that matter most to us. So, in my lifetime, when I felt stuck, it was probably because I was stuck doing things that for other people that probably I didn't want to be doing. I wasn't paying attention to me. So you're going to get that idea of I'm stuck, I can't move forward. The minute you open up a little bit, though, to how can I say yes to myself? How can I do something for me to make me feel good? How can I acknowledge that little inner child who wants something? It could be as simple as buying a chocolate bar, buying an ice cream cone, like sitting down and remembering being a kid. That tends, again, there's an energy that comes with those thoughts that help you to start to open up. Like you open up your energy. So when you're feeling stuck, it's like there's a restriction, right? When you're not in that aligned with enjoying life, with thinking about, what's one little thing I could do for myself? What did I like to do as a child? Like when you start inquiring like that, you sort of go from I'm stuck to, oh, there's something more that beyond this feeling of being stuck.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend is if you're feeling stuck, it's even get paper and crayon, right? And just start coloring. That's another technique I use. Just start to color or just write. Just continue to write. It doesn't even have to make sense. And then sit back and notice 10 minutes later how you feel. Do you still feel stuck? But the question I always say to clients is, what are you buying into right now that's got you feeling stuck? Or who's got you feeling stuck if you think someone else is keeping you stuck? And what would not being stuck look like? What's it going to feel like for you? Right? That's how I sort of approach it. But I do more and more. It's childhood things that you would do as a child. So coloring, that's a big one. If you're feeling really anxious and stuck, take a piece of paper out and just start doodling. Just start to doodle and notice where that will take you, or write aimlessly, for a good 10 minutes. Notice where that takes you. Yes, you can meditate. You can do breathing. That's another good one to do. But I find if you start to just move yourself like a child does, right? Move around, jump up and down, put a song on that you like and have your own dance party. And then start to notice like, okay, so what am I feeling now? Like, am I still feeling stuck? Stuck is always something we've bought into that probably wasn't something we wanted to do or we don't want to be involved in. So it's like a feeling of now I'm trapped. Now I'm stuck. I can't move forward, which is, again, it's our mindset that has brought us to that. So remember, a box always opens. You can always open it up.
Right.
You can always get unstuck if you desire to. So you got to set the intention. And sometimes being stuck is not, I've worked with clients where I've thought, maybe you just want to stay stuck for a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe there's learning for you when you're stuck. You're stuck in something that maybe you're going to learn a lesson from it. People hate when I say that. And by the next lesson, they're like, no, I've learned what I want to learn. Can we work on me getting, I want to be unstuck.
Well, that's the paradox, right? Well, maybe you want to be, give it to them, right?
Maybe you do.
Give them what they're bumping, struggling with, right? And so have it, embrace it.
I've done it where I've thought I'm staying in this. I don't know why I'm in it, but I'm staying in it until you decide like I actually have had enough of it.
Yeah. Well, that's a great way to be free. It's when you
right?
willing to be perfectly stuck, right? Now you're perfectly going to become free.
Now we're perfectly stuck.
You're going to feel that freedom again. So speaking of freedom,
Exactly.
I know that you do these freedom energy scans. That's awesome. And
Thank you.
you're one of the many people, I must say, a little plug almost here, but like one of the many people that has learned the energy scanning that I teach, and y'all can do it. Y'all can do it. You're one of the proof.
Absolutely.
So to claim that ability we all have as infinite children and children of God. So Donna, did you want to? We talked about maybe doing a little tap. I always tap into my guests on the show. But maybe you could tap into me a little bit today, just for a few
Let's
minutes,
do it.
to give people an idea of what a freedom energy scan is, because it's something that you offer. Yeah.
Sure. So let's and I'll tell you, learning the energy scan that was a life changer for my business, by the way, Dan. I really, when I started to feel comfortable doing them, it took a while.
Yeah.
I thought there's a win here. Like it's, reciprocal feeling because you're helping people to just go back to who they really are. So let's do that with you. I'm
Awesome.
going to just
Thank
take
you.
a few minutes. I'm going to just ask you to relax.
Mhm.
I'm going to close my eyes and just get a sense of you. Let's see what wants to come up. So what I'm sensing is this as a younger person, younger child, a sense of curiosity. But there's something about cookies. I don't know if maybe you liked cookies, like you're like the hand stuck in the cookie jar, or mom liked baking. And I sense just really a lot of feminine energy about you as a child. So the things that you liked, maybe a lot of little boys weren't into it, but you kind of went with it. That's what I'm noticing most. Something about the cookies, though. I don't know. I don't know. Did you really like? I mean, most kids like cookies,
Yeah, I
but there
don't
was
know if it's
something
any more
about
than I don't know if
baking.
it's any more than anybody other kids, but of course, hey, cookies. I love cookies. Absolutely.
Yeah, I just sense a lot of baking, cookies. But what really comes to my mind is not necessarily being like a lot of the other boys, like having this fuller sense of who you were at a young age
Mm.
and maybe questioning it, but it's like you couldn't relate to the way other boys would think. You
Right.
saw things differently. I don't
That's
know how that resonates
that's
for
true.
you.
That's totally true. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, more. I wasn't. Yeah, I didn't go with all this masculine stuff and all that so much. Although I played sports, I did all boy stuff too. But I was different. I definitely was different. Is the best way I could put it. Yeah.
And that's really great because I mean, when I experience your retreats, it's that ability to shift between energies, the masculine, the feminine, that I am always intrigued by. Because
Mhm.
it's like you're able to tap into people by using those different energies. That's been my experience of you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
nice.
Well, that's helpful because
Thanks. That was a great opportunity.
that's a freedom right there. Because I had to give myself the freedom to be who I am in that regard, like having
Mhm.
the deep feminine energy that I do have, and I used to judge it. When people would say, "You're so soft, you're so loving and
Yeah.
kind," I always thought, "Yeah, but you don't know how fierce and powerful and masculine I can be, and I am, and all this stuff." And so it used to bother me. And it's like, it totally isn't that way anymore. I just, it's, I just love that. I just love that about me now.
Mhm.
It's total. I mean, it's 7, 8 years ago. No, I mean, I totally love that about myself, and I know I can trust my femininity, and I can trust the masculinity. I can trust both. So,
It's
uh,
beautiful to have both, like to be aware of both, right? I love that.
thank you, thank
Nice.
you. Yeah, and it's good to hear from you. That's appreciated. That's good feedback. Thank you. Yeah.
You're welcome.
So Donna, that's great. I mean, that just gives people a slice of the pie there to kind of have an idea of what where this leads, and the awarenesses that can be built up, through this scanning. You gives you freedom, because even if it's things that you kind of know, what happens is you're re-recognizing. You're like, it's like a deeper yes, yes, yes. That's right. That's right. That's who I am. Doggone it. That's where, yeah. And you double down, on these truths. And what Donna also is able to do is to see maybe where some of the restrictions are. So she says, well, you felt kind of awkward, and then we could get into that, right? Like, what that created for me, depression, anxiety, because I feel like I'm not, I don't want to be here. I want to be somewhere else. I want to be not a kid anymore. I want to be growing up. I have all these things going on. And then, yeah, just feeling like not good about myself as a man, because in some ways, because I was different, because I was this loving, soft presence along with the masculine energy that I had, but like it didn't resonate, seemed to others, at that time. So other boys. So it was very awkward for me, but now I see that, now at this point in my life, I can see the power of it, whereas at that time, I didn't get it. I just didn't get it. So
yeah, and that makes sense.
Yeah,
It's just a beautiful thing to have access to both, right? Not everyone has that, so
yeah.
nice to have that.
Yeah. So Donna,
Beautiful share. Thank you, Dan.
thank you.
That was
Thank you for
good.
the scanning. Yeah.
Awesome.
So Donna, I know that you wanted to give people an opportunity to connect with you, and also to maybe receive one of these freedom energy scans that you do, which you go way, way deeper than just a quick scan like here. But yeah, do you want to tell people about that?
Absolutely. So if you go to my website, donnahallcoach.com, or you can email me, donna@donnahallcoach.com. And I'm willing to give the first 3 people who reach out to me a free scan, a complimentary scan. So, that it'll, as Dan just said, it's the 30 minutes. It's longer than what we just did. It's more in depth. And it'll definitely give you insight into that inner child, that nothing that we don't know, but just sort of reintroducing you to the inner child. It'll talk about your potential and just sort of the pieces in the middle, the pieces that you might be living by that you may want to find some freedom from, so that you can totally tap back into sort of that 100% inner child and start having more fun in your life. So again, my email is donna@donnahallcoach.com, and my website is donnahallcoach.com. All
Great.
one long word.
Great. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. No, that's not that long. DonnaHallCoach.com, or you can email her at donna@donnahallcoach.com. For the first 3 people, you will receive a freedom energy scan. It's free.
And if you can just mention mention the podcast, so that I'll know it's
that'd be great.
From this podcast, that would be great. And yes, it's absolutely free.
Wonderful. Everybody absolutely take advantage of that. I know she'll tune into your chakras a bit and all that stuff too, because I seeing as I've trained her, I know I kind of know, everybody improvises with the basics.
There are no secrets here.
But I know she'll do some of that too. So Donna, I just want to, it's kind of different in this show. Like I usually just scanning you, but so I'm going to scan you for a second too, and just reciprocate if that's okay.
Absolutely. Let's do that.
All right.
I love when you do your scans. So.
That's it. All right. So let's see what comes through today. It's trying to, the signal is reminding you of, you were showing me what's behind you, which has got that fire and the roses and everything. And what the signal is saying is just talking about you trusting your fire more, reclaiming your fire more, letting yourself to feel that passion, and let that flow through you. Let it burn out your car, more the vestiges of the old karma that may be left. So just letting that stuff flush by standing more in your passion, your fire, and trusting it. There is the scared child that might be afraid of that. Ooh, what's gonna happen? We might die or whatever. Where's the safety and protection? And so standing in this power and this fire seems to be really important right now. Let's see if I get at least one more thing. It's just showing me that to remind you what a clear channel you are, that they're showing through the third eye, that you have that grace and ease to easily, to see and to know and to have what you want. So that's a gift that you particularly have. And the more all the rest of the energy is working really well, of course, the more you get to experience a greater sense of it, right? So, so it's just a reminder that you have that gift to, as they say, move mountains and all that stuff. Like, you just really are such a strong, clear channel, especially through that third eye energy, that things just can happen. Victory is always close at hand for you, that in that way, and it's just a matter of remembering and surrendering, I want to say, to that again and again, and just letting that flow, and that's all a part of it anyway. So anyway,
I love that.
the things to share.
Thank you.
Okay. All right. Any quick thoughts on any of that, Donna?
Well, it totally resonates, especially the first one about standing in my personal power. It's something that I think about often now. If I get spooked, that little, like you said, a bit of that fear energy, I think, no, stand, like, really be rooted if you're going to make a decision, and bring in that fun energy and do it from a place of just understanding that it is possible. So that really resonates, and I appreciate the clear channel. I really appreciate that. Yeah. Just showing more and experiencing more of that channel really matters, and it helps my clients. Yes. That clear channel, it really does. So yeah. I appreciate that. Thank you, Dan. Oh, it's been fun.
Okay, all right. Yeah, like, it's playtime, right? This is the fun show. All right. You're to play energy scan. So if people want to check me out, go to yoursacredpurpose.com. I have an energy consultation, scan consultation opportunity there. It describes, the way to secure one there. And then there's a free meditate to make money meditation that opens up your energies, your chakras, and helps you to tune in each day to what's wanting to unfold, let that money energy flow. And again, I have people telling me to keep making more money, just listen to my meditation. So take advantage of it. Yoursacredpurpose.com. All right, Donna, well, I'm going to give you the last closing words here. Anything you want to share? So any last words for the audience?
I just want to say that if you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling overwhelmed or overly responsible, that it's 2021. It's time to really start to tap more into your freedom, into that inner child, inner joy. And again, I'm offering those 3 free scans. So please reach out to me, Donna@DonnaHallCoach.com, or DonnaHallCoach.com is my website. And I really look forward to hearing from you. And thank you so much, Dan. It's been a pleasure. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been awesome. And you definitely want to get that energy scan from Donna. She helps open you up energetically just by doing an energy scan. And so take advantage of that. All right, everybody. Thank you, John, again. I'm so grateful.
Thank you, Dan. Nice to see you.
Yeah, it's good to see the fire in the background, too.
Thank you.
There's always deep reasons why everything exists, right? So I'm grateful to have you, and all the fun we've had, and the fun that we've pointed to that's there, the party that's going on all the time, and helping people to tap into that and go deeper with it. So So, and I want to thank everybody for listening in. And I trust you've had a fun time, and keep on tuning in, and we'll keep on rocking it here on Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Goodbye for now.
You're listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.